Welcome to another edition of Ringo TV Reactions. What I want to talk about this morning is Passport Bros is the new MGTOW 2.0. Yeah, that's right. These are my original talking points. If you hear anyone within this space talking about Passport Bros is the new MGTOW 2.0, you know they got it from me, because everybody copies off of Ringo. I'm hearing people saying bars, which is my talking point. People talking about everything that I talk about, pretty much. So it is what it is. We know they're going to copy me regardless. This is just what they do in this space. Nobody has any sort of original talking points. So what are we talking about? We're dealing with this issue of the Passport Bros. What is the Passport Bros? The Passport Bros is a group of men that just can't find women. These guys have pretty much converted what was MGTOW, men going their own way, into the Passport Bros. Pretty much it's the same thing, but this is the 2.0 version of MGTOW. Men going their own way, but now they're going their own way with a passport. See, before it was men going their own way because they were just fed up with everything in society, and it was a very popular thing on social media. And let me also address this. In these YouTube streets, right? I want to make something clear for the public, since everybody watch my content, steal from what I talk about, and everybody's just talking a lot of crap all over social media. So let's just put it all out there. Anytime you see anyone defending Passport Bros, I want you to understand exactly what they're doing. When MGTOW was in full swing, it was a very popular subject. Whenever you would have MGTOW in your title, you got a lot of views, you got a lot of support, because when you mention MGTOW, it embodied all different nationalities of men. It wasn't a black thing, it wasn't a white thing, it was an anything. Any nationality of men participated in what is known as MGTOW. These men came on social media to share their grievances about what they don't like about society. They talked about how feminism is. They talked about the laws of the land, marriage. They talked about all of these different issues. So when you really think about it, the Passport Bros movement is, in fact, MGTOW 2.0. It's just a new name. And the purpose for this is to form and reinforce the same movement, but in a new way. Rather than men just going their own way by themselves, now it's men going their own way to get a passport to go to either Brazil, Colombia, or the DR. Those are the only places they seem to go. Or they may go to some Asian country, but predominantly they go to Brazil, Colombia, or DR. These are the places where you can literally hire 304s to basically pay to play. Shout out to Chef. I see Chef in the building. What's going on, bro? Juan Blanco. What's going on? Farin Williams. What's going on? So in case you're joining in, see you, Tyler. Tyler in the building. What's going on? We're dealing with Passport Bros is the new MGTOW 2.0. The MGTOW 2.0, this is what we're seeing today. You all remember when MGTOW was really popping and heavy on social media. It got a lot of views. I see you, Fitness Information, in the building. They got a lot of views. So what I want you to all understand about what's happening in these YouTube streets if you see anybody defending passport bros, I want you to know exactly what they're doing. Let me break it down for you so that they can know that I know, because I know what they're doing. Number one, they could care less about which side is which. They don't care. Whenever you see any content creator defending passport bros, they're doing that because they want to gain numbers and views. See, I always go against the grain because normally going against the grain is the right path. I go against the grain, so I will always be against passport bros. That's not going to get you any numbers. That's not going to get you any views. That's not going to get you any support. So nobody can't say that I'm doing that because I want to gain numbers and I want to gain views and I want to gain support. But when you see men and women defending the passport bros, when you see men making content that is basically trying to shut anybody up on speaking on passport bros, that is when you know that those people are doing what they're doing because they want to gain the following of MGTOW 2.0, which is disguised as passport bros. You understand? So what you're going to notice in the space is you're going to notice a lot of content creators. They're going to be having different talks with other men. And anytime you bring up passport bros, they're going to defend passport bros. They don't care that these passport bros are going overseas, tricking on young girls, paying women for sexual relations. They don't care about that. And a lot of these guys are hypocrites, to be quite frank, because a lot of these guys talk one thing and then they switch up, then they talk another thing. We're going to have to start to make videos about male chameleons. Male chameleons. You know, we hear a lot about chameleons regarding women, but a lot of these men are male chameleons because they don't have any standards. They switch, they move, and they buckle. Anytime there's a new wave, they try to jump on the bandwagon because they want the support. At the end of the day, the bottom line is the support. So anytime you see anyone defending passport bros, when they are not a practitioner, that is when you know you're dealing with someone that is pandering to men because they know it will bring in new support. Let me explain something to you. If a group of guys are basically following MGTOW and I don't, but I start to make videos basically talking about MGTOW in a positive way by saying men that go their own way, you know, they're doing the right thing because society is crazy. These brothers need our support. You know what I'm saying? We got to do this. Guess what would happen for me? What would happen for me is that it will help me to grow. Why? Because I'm basically doing what everyone else want. I'm giving them exactly what they need. Do you understand? That's just the way it works on social media. You understand? I'm giving them exactly what they want by speaking on the issues that they have grievances with. So in return, I'm going to get super chats. I'm going to get support. I'm going to get new subscribers. And even though I don't participate in anything MGTOW, they're going to believe in me because I'm speaking their language. Do you understand me? So what the passport bros are doing right now is MGTOW 2.0. It's MGTOW mixed with SYSBM all in one. Now, again, anybody you see trying to regurgitate what I'm talking about right here, they got it from me. And if you see them, you need to call them out on it and say, hold up. You got that from Ringo. Why don't you shout Ringo out? Because Ringo's the one who originated all those talking points that you're regurgitating. Passport Bros is the new MGTOW 2.0, which consists of MGTOW and SYSBM in one. Save Yourself Black Man and Men Going Their Own Way combined, which equals Passport Bros. So now what they're trying to do is recruit all of the MGTOW guys, because the MGTOW guys, they're on board. They're on board. They got tired of being pretty much going their own way. Now they want some vagina now. I'm just keeping it a buck with you. The MGTOW guys are fed up with going their own way. It's been going on too long and they're tired. They're like, look, I want to go overseas. This is sounding real good. And then you got the Save Yourself Black Men. So you got the two groups coming together, because MGTOW consists of not only black men, but predominantly white and Asian. And being that MGTOW is predominantly white and Asian, and then you have SYSBM, pretty much they join forces now. So you're going to notice panels where you're going to see black men, Asian men, white men, all on one panel talking about Passport Bros. This is all the same. It's MGTOW 2.0. MGTOW 2.0. Passport Bros is a group of men that cannot get vagina in America. Pretty much. That's all it is. There's no way around it. You understand? Passport Bros is a group of men that can't get vagina in America. That is what the group is about. Men that are sexually frustrated because they're unable to score. They have no idea how to talk to women. So what they want is the easy way out. So they want to go to countries that legalized prostitution. As I've talked about in my other streams, I talked about the fact that in Brazil, prostitution is legal. It's legal over there. You could go over there and just do it. So there's no laws pretty much governing you to, I guess, punish you if you were to pay to play. Same thing in the Dominican Republic. You can go over there, get off the plane, and just tell the locals, look, I'm looking for some girls. You know what I'm saying? And they'll pretty much direct you to all the hot spots. And you can go to a hotel and pretty much on the menu, you can pretty much get a girl to come to your room. So going overseas and getting these passports is not about finding wives. It's about finding HOEs. That's what this is about. The passport guys are typically men that are lames. These guys, predominantly all of them, are out of shape, overweight. Most women will not find them attractive. Then you might have a few of them that might have slipped through the cracks, that might have all of the exterior on point, but they're still lames because they don't have a mouthpiece. So they really don't have no game. They don't know how to talk to women. These guys are, in all sense and purposes, losers. So they decided the best way I can have results is I got to go overseas. But even though they're telling you this, they're selling you a bunch of lies, because their excuse for going overseas is that women in America are no good. That's their excuse. But when you really think about it, are women in DR better? Are women in Brazil better? Are women in Colombia better? I mean, out of both women in America and Brazil, which women have more of a higher body count? See, nobody's talking about that. They tell you that the marriage laws and the laws in America and feminism is this and that, and they give you all of these excuses to want to get out of the country. But they don't tell you about the laws in Brazil. They don't tell you about the child support issues in Brazil. They don't tell you about the laws of the land. All they sell you is, man, these women will treat you like a king. These women are very feminine and fit. These are the lies that they program you with. They put the battery in your back, making you believe that you're going to have something great, not realizing that there are countless men all over social media with horror stories of going to Brazil, going to Colombia, going to DR, and they're getting drugged and robbed and beaten. Countless men that have travel platforms, they have horror stories of them going overseas, and the women that they thought were golden, the women that they thought would treat them like a king, end up robbing them, putting drugs in their drinks. These guys woke up with no clothes on, laptop gone, cell phones gone, credit cards, everything gone. From the women that these passport bros are selling you guys by making you think that they're just so much better than women in America. Again, passport bros is the new MGTOW 2.0, which consists of SYSBM and MGTOW together, which forms passport bros, a group of men that are losers, a group of men that are thirsty, a group of men that have no understanding of the culture overseas. They just can't wait to get over there to have sex. These men are not building any families. These men have no interest in making any woman a wife. These men are only over there to pay for a vagina. You have a lot of content creators on YouTube that 1 minute they're talking about men tricking, they're speaking against this, and then they're in support of men paying for vagina. I'm telling you, it is disgusting in these streets. It is sad that grown men that don't even participate in the passport bro movement would defend that. It just goes to show what their agenda is and what their purpose is. The purpose, again, when you see content creators literally defending passport bros, is for one reason and one reason only: support. Support. Let me tell you something, ladies and gentlemen. Ringo, if I start to make videos saying the passport bro movement is great, we need to support these brothers, we need to encourage these brothers, do you know how many subscribers I'll gain in 1 week? Hundreds, probably thousands. Why? Because I'm enforcing the movement. Because again, passport bros is the new MGTOW 2.0. I can recall back in the day, I made videos about MGTOW, and it was around the time when I didn't fully understand it, and I thought it was something cool. But then I started to learn that these guys are basically saying they're going their own way, and I'm like, if you're going your own way, just go and stop complaining about all these issues. Just go and stop complaining. And at first, when I made my videos basically encouraging, not necessarily trying to recruit anybody, at the same time, I thought it was something cool because these guys was frustrated with what's going on in society in terms of feminism and the way the world works and the laws and how marriage is against men, and, you know, men are pretty much getting their resources and everything taken away from them. So I spoke on it in a positive way. And when I did that, I noticed that my numbers jumped. And a lot of people started to subscribe. And I realized that the majority of the people that were subscribing were all MGTOW. So for some odd reason, because I spoke well of MGTOW inadvertently, they must have assumed that maybe I was MGTOW, or even if I wasn't, they supported the platform by subscribing. And then when I finally learned that MGTOW is about something totally different, and I don't pretty much practice anything that they do, I spoke against it, not in a harsh, crazy way, but I spoke my opinion. And one thing I learned about men are actually more emotional than women when it comes to you speaking against their movements. they become very combative, just like a woman. They start to cry, they start to bicker, and it's very disgusting, to say the least, when you see men act this way. So when I spoke against MGTOW, I noticed a lot of people start to unsubscribe. And I said to myself, these guys are females, because it's as if though as men, we cannot have a conversation. We cannot pretty much discuss these issues. I thought iron sharpens iron. But I noticed that with men on social media, they're worse than women. And a lot of it goes back to men being brought up by single mothers, or in a situation where they don't have no male figures to teach them anything about masculinity or just having, a backbone. Because when you have these conversations, they get in their feelings real quick and they abandon ship. So I noticed a lot of MGTOW guys started to unsubscribe, and I realized, wow, when I talk well about MGTOW, I gain support. When I speak against it, I start losing hundreds of subscribers. So what do you think is going on with the Passport Bro movement? The Passport Bro movement is the new wave of how to either gain or lose support, because these guys are very emotional. You have to understand, they haven't gotten vagina in a long time. So this is very important to them. And what's sad about this, you have a guy that is only 23 years old. He's their leader. Could you believe that? And all of a sudden, he's popular. A guy that just came out of nowhere. He's popular for basically going overseas when he only been there probably about 2 or 3 times. Could you believe that? And he's already the face of a movement that is not new, by the way. It's not new. The original Passport Bro guy, he died. Y'all know who he is. I'm not sure if his name is Tyler something. I'm not sure what Charles. I'm not sure what his name is, but he had died. And he was the original Passport guy, and people worshiped him. And what happened was they realized that there's a void in the space of Kevin Samuels not being there. Remember, Kevin Samuels was into the same thing. Kevin Samuels was into the same thing of basically getting men to get with non-black women. Now, a lot of these guys, these Passport guys will say, but they're still dealing with black women. No, they're not. They're not dealing with American women because they don't like American women. But they're still in America, which is very, very crazy, to say the least. And getting back to my point about the leader of the Passport Bros, the guy is 23 years old, right? The man has a GoFundMe, right? Which is very interesting to me. Now, let's consider this for a minute. We're men, right? Let's talk as men. Let's examine the facts and find out exactly what's going on. This young man is 23 years old. I can be his father, to be quite frank, And he's leading grown men to go to Brazil, Colombia, and DR. The guy started a GoFundMe, and his GoFundMe got no support. Could you believe that? He's trying to raise $70,000 so that he can move to Brazil. He needs your help. Again, this is the leader of the Passport Bros. He needs your help to move to Brazil. Now, why would a leader that's telling you guys how much better it is to go overseas, the women are so much better, why would he need your help to go overseas to live, and he need you to help him to relocate if he's making $100,000 a year? Again, because men are very emotional with this movement, a lot of them really believe that it's so much greener on the other side. But here's the thing that I have an issue with, and why I like to share my commentary on this, because I know that they watch my videos. Everybody watches my videos. Pretty much every content creator on YouTube within the black sector, they watch my videos. They tune in to find out exactly what's going on, because I'm pretty much the only one that is going heavy against these Passport Bros, right? I make the most sense. I bring out all the facts. And I've been talking about this for a long time. These guys are not going over there to build no family. These guys are not going over there to find a wife. How could you find a wife in a land where the majority of women are literally selling their bodies? How can you go to a place where prostitution is legalized and you're expecting to find a wife? Like, do people not understand that the way their economy is run is off of women selling themselves? It's a business. That's how women survive. The women are not going to school, getting educations and having jobs. The women are just selling their bodies. So pretty much every woman you run into in those regions, chances are she's either selling herself or used to sell herself, and her body count is through the roof. But these men are selling them as if though they're fit, friendly, and cooperative. Again, a lot of these passport bros are using the methodology of Kevin Samuels and the talking points of Kevin Samuels in terms of fit, friendly, and cooperative to make you believe that overseas, everything over there is gold, not realizing that it's not. You have venereal diseases, STDs, that men, travel bros, are bringing back to the States, infecting women in the States. And these things go unpunished and unchecked, and nobody talks about these things because, once again, these guys act as if though they're not doing no wrong, when we all know they're going over there for cooch. Now, going back to my point about the so-called GoFundMe, how is it that you can have all of these men that claim they're in agreement with passport bros? They're all in agreement. They all sing the praises of their leader, but the leader haven't reached the goal as of yet. How is it that the passport bro leader can make video after video after video? Everybody's viewing the video, everybody's commenting on the videos, but nobody's coming out of those pockets. You know why? Because they don't really believe anything that he say, and the majority of these guys are broke. It's just the facts. It's not really to take shots at anybody. The point is serious. When you have a movement and the passport bro leader is telling you, I need 70,000, all of these guys on YouTube claim that they're all millionaires. They all make so much money. They all make 100 bands a year. Everybody's a six-figure guy on YouTube. Everybody is. Right? You got guys donating 500 to women, but they haven't donated that to the passport bro. You got to really think about this. You got to really think about what's going on here. See, basically what I see is just men just love tricking on women. Men just love paying for play. And that's typically what the movement is about. They won't come out and just say, look, we're just getting our passports so that we could go overseas, so that we could indulge with 304s, and just because it's cheaper. You have to understand. These guys, they remain in America. If you notice with these passport bros, none of them have relocated. None of them. They're just going back and forth. That's all they're doing. They're not relocating. Why haven't they relocated? If being overseas with these women is so much better, why do they keep coming back to the States? Why they do that? I'll tell you why. Because they use the American dollar, because the American dollar goes further in those countries. So if the country, if it's really that great, why haven't these passport bros saved their American dollar, move overseas, start their businesses, and start to make money and build families? Why they haven't done that yet? You see that? And see, when I talk about these things, they never address the real issues. They never do. Because it's basically sex tourism. That's what it's all about. And a lot of you guys are getting swindled and you don't realize that you're getting caught up. Imagine that a 23-year-old who just got out of his mom's house is telling you that you need to travel overseas. At 23 years old, there is no way in this world that a man would be focused on, man, all these women in America ain't no good, I'm going overseas. At 23? It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. These guys are sexual deviants. That's what they are. They're just not coming out and just saying, look, this is what I am. I'm a sexual deviant. I'm just thirsty. I'm looking for a sex slave. That's what they're looking for, fam. So the Passport Bros movement is a cartel organization of a collective of various content creators and men that are in these countries that have a contract agreement to recruit other men in the States so that they can all come down there and have a good time and support their businesses overseas, because the only businesses that are successful overseas are businesses that involve women. Are you listening? The businesses in Brazil, the businesses in Colombia, the businesses in DR that are the most successful are the ones that involves women, and primarily the younger the better, because in those countries you can pretty much get with any woman, any girl you want. It doesn't matter. Nobody really cares because it's all about making money. So these passport bros, not only are they getting their passports to go overseas, but they're also going over there dealing with very young girls. I'm talking about young girls that normally, under normal circumstances, they would not be messing around with in the States. But overseas, it gives them access. And because the police in most cases are corrupt, they're able to get away with a lot. We're talking about men that are impregnating many women. We're talking about men that are leaving Brazil, DR, and Colombia, and they're leaving women with babies. Countless women overseas are turning up as single mothers. The single mother rate in these regions is going up because of the many men from America that are traveling abroad, dumping their seeds in all of the women. Yeah. And we know these guys are raw dogging all of the natives, and they don't care about STDs. They don't care about their health. They don't care about anyone's safety. And it's sad because when you really think about it, they paint the picture of these women being very submissive and very loyal, and they'll treat you like a king, not realizing that these women are impoverished. So of course they're going to treat you like a king if you're paying. And that's the problem. You're paying. The truth of the matter, brothers, is this. When you go overseas and you deal with these women, you have to have money. The minute your money runs out, the fun stops. That's what it's all about. Money. As long as you're willing to pay these women, they will treat you like a king. But they're not treating you like a king because they want to. They're not treating you like a king because you're a king. Women in all walks of life will treat a man like a king if he's paying money. That goes for women in the States. That goes for women overseas. It doesn't matter. When a woman is a gold digger, when a woman is only there to provide you an experience, she will do what is necessary to make sure that you're fulfilled if you're paying money. The minute the money stops, she goes to the next man. That is how it is overseas. And this is something that a lot of guys don't understand. This is something that I've been trying to teach men for a long time, but for some odd reason, they're just not getting it. They're just not understanding the real deal. And it's very, very serious. I don't know why a lot of guys remain in their feelings regarding these topics, but the truth is the truth, no matter how you see it. Passport Bros is a toxic, satanic organization that is recruiting men that are impressionable, men that are very easy to manipulate. It's designed to get the incel guys. It's designed to get the lames, guys that typically can't get women in America. You know, it's very sad when you see a grown man saying, I can't find a woman in America. It's sad when you hear that type of stuff, because it's not really women in America. It's just that you're lame. It's just that you're just not the guy. And for most of these guys, they never go outside. Believe it or not, some of these guys, they live online. They think finding a woman is all about being online. That's how sad it is. These guys don't know how to go outside. These guys never been to a park. They never went to a mall. They never went to a bar. they're socially awkward men. So they resort to dating apps. They play around with dating apps. And when they get flaked on or women don't give them the time of day, they consider that to be how American women are. And they get frustrated. And they say stuff like, these women are playing games. These women are this. But these guys never been outside. These guys never took a walk. These guys are so scared to approach a woman face to face. It is sad out here. And this all goes back to how social media has caused not only women to be destroyed, but also men. Social media has caused men to resort to going to a woman's DMs as a way to shoot his shot. Now, obviously, if a woman is not in your city or if a woman is online, of course, you can reach her via DM or email and so forth. But whatever happened to men going outside and actually talking to a woman? Whatever happened to that? It's like guys in America are in their own personal prison where they refuse to talk to women face to face. I would say that the majority of men in today's day, about 75%, rely on the internet to try to talk to or holler at women. Whereas the other 25% of men are actually talking to women face to face. This is why the Pookies and the Ray Rays are pretty much smashing all of the women in the community, because all of the women are being rotated on their watch, because the majority of the men are too scared to talk to women face to face. All you got to do, bro, is pull up on a woman. You see a woman walking, you see how she look, you like her, she's interesting, you talk to her. It's not that difficult to do. But the problem is a lot of guys, they don't get outside. They don't go to the gym. They don't go to the mall. Everything is done right at home. They never go nowhere. They never shop. Most of these guys never been to Home Depot. They never walked down the aisle of a Lowe's department store. When was the last time you been to a shopping mall? When was the last time you actually took a walk? When was the last time you took a stroll down the street? When was the last time you walked 20 blocks and just saw and interacted with people? When was the last time you paid for a hero sandwich over the counter and there was a nice lady right next to you? When was the last time you bought some tea, coffee, or chocolate and there was some woman right next to you? Men don't even interact with women in America face to face no more because they live online. And these guys are so frustrated that now they're saying, you know what? I'm going to get me my passports because when I go overseas, I don't have to interact with women face to face. I could just pay them and get what I need. And that's what's going on, fam. The Passport Bros is selling you guys a lie, a fantasy, an experience with 304s. You're not getting clean women. You're not getting women that are decent. And that's not a knock on any woman that's from Brazil, Colombia, or DR. There are women that might be decent. But let's just keep it a buck. The women that you are literally going to get are women of the night. Those are the women. Now, let's talk about a couple of more things regarding the Passport Bros attack force. Passport Bros attack force. These are typically the kind of people that will try to shame you for talking about the Passport Bros. This would consist of men and women using shaming language such as, why are you worried about where that man put his rod? These are typical shaming tactics. I need to make this very clear because within this movement of MGTOW 2.0, which is disguised as Passport Bros, which consist of MGTOW and SYSBM, you're going to have a lot of Passport Bros attack dogs. These are the dogs that are sent by the Passport Bros to shame anyone that speak against Passport Bros. The number one shaming language that they will use is, why are you worried about where another man put his rod? Now, when you hear stuff like that, right, It's a shaming language because it's trying to identify you as worrying about who he's having sex with. It's to distract you and to be a diversion to the real issues you're trying to present. For example, passport bros going down there to deal with prostitutes. When we talk about these issues, nobody have any answers. Now, I got a video that's coming up where I'm going to basically embarrass the passport bros and various content creators. That's coming up soon. We're going to deal with these issues, and we're going to deal with them very heavy, because here on Ringo TV Reactions, we don't sugarcoat anything. We bring out the facts and we deal with the real issues. But now, moving on back to the shaming language. They love to shame anyone who addressed the issues. Why are you worrying about where a man put his rod? Let's deal with this issue. When you hear that kind of shaming language, it's to try to make you look like you're some sort of hater, like you are trying to block a brother. The truth of the matter is that brother going down there for prostitutes, or is that brother going down there to find a wife? Which one? Because if the brother is going down there to find a wife, why would someone use shaming language of, why are you worried about where that man put his rod? If he's going down there to find a wife, if he's going down there to build a family. The truth of the matter is passport bros are not interested in a family. They're not interested in marriage. That's not on their mind. Remember, passport bros are coming from the States where they are against marriage. So why would they be going overseas to get married to a so-called woman? You see that? Not only that, let's talk about the laws. If you get married to a woman overseas, are you marrying her in her country, or are you marrying her in America? Nobody's talking about that. Nobody's talking about that. Nobody is talking about that. Are you marrying her and bringing her back to the States, or are you marrying her and leaving her there? Because if you're marrying her and she's over there, that means you would have to live there. That means you would have to become a native of that country. Are you set up? Do you got all your paperwork together? Do you got all your documentation? What's really going on? See, you don't hear any of these guys talking about this. Why? Because it's not about that. It's not about family. It's not about building. It's not about having no wives. It's not about having children. These guys are not trying to have children. Why would they go have children with women overseas for? That would mess up the fun of being a passport bro. Have you ever thought about that? Why would a man in America go overseas to have children with these women and stop the fun? Because now he would have to pay for these kids. And we all know that when it comes to children overseas, the laws are even worse than that of America. You guys don't have a clue what you're getting involved in. And all of you folks that love to defend passport bros should be ashamed of yourselves, because you're not doing it because you care. You're doing it because you want to increase your numbers. Whenever you see anyone defending passport bros, it's because they want you to subscribe to their channel. See, the reason why I'm telling you this is because I understand the game. I understand the YouTube streets. I understand how it is when people make content. A lot of people do what they do because they just want the numbers. Do you understand me? It's a business. So if I can appease to a certain crowd, it would help me to grow. That's how it works. And right now, the passport bros is the movement that men are supporting. And they're supporting it not with their money, they're supporting it with their emotions. And when you have a bunch of men that are emotional about a movement, they will subscribe to your channel no matter what, or no matter who you are. It doesn't matter what you teach. If you support passport bros, men will subscribe. You know how many men unsubscribe from my platform just because I speak against passport bros? Because they're emotional. They're emotional about a movement. And these guys are literally stuck in America, but because the movement sound good to their ears and because they want to hear people talk about it, they would unsubscribe if I speak against it. I could care less. You can go ahead and do whatever you got to do. It's not bothering me one bit, because I understand how the YouTube streets is. Number one, Female platforms will always grow faster than male platforms because men are thirsty. Men treat female content creators the same way they do IG models. Once you see an IG model, what do men do? They click follow and they start clicking the likes. Right? That's exactly what men do. When men see Instagram models, the first thing they do is click follow and they start clicking the like button on all of their photos. Every last one of their photos, they click the like button without hesitation. But when men see other men Instagrams, they don't click follow and they definitely ain't clicking no like button. Well, the same thing applies for YouTube. When men come on YouTube, they'll see a female content creator. They would instantly subscribe based on how the female looks. And then they will start to click the like button, and then they will start to support financially via Cash App, Super Chat, and every other pretty much way of supporting. This is how men do because men are simps by nature. Simps. Men practice simpery every single day because they're weak and very emotional. So female platforms will always grow faster. Like I said, and I talked about this over the past month. There's a female content creator that literally hit 100,000 subscribers in 1 week on YouTube. I'm talking about 1 week. In 1 week, she came on and she's already at 100K. She's literally pushing 200K right now. 200K. She hit 100,000 subscribers in 1 week. Why? Because of men that are thirsty. They look at how she look. They look at what she's wearing. They look at how she's sitting, and they subscribe and they support. But these very same men won't support male content creators, such as myself, that actually speak the truth. All the truth that I've thus said thus far, I don't have that kind of support because men are weak. Men are very emotional. Men think like women today. Imagine that. Female platforms are flooded with men, but they're not flooded with women. So who are women really talking to? Who are these females talking to? Who are these women talking to when they say, oh, I'm here for this and I'm trying to help these ladies? These ladies are not listening to you. Ladies do not come to listen to ladies. Women are out here just doing their thing. Female creators are literally speaking and pandering towards men. It's a big business. It's what they do because, again, you guys are suckers and simps. So, hey, it's going to work out for them. More power to them. If it works, it works because they understand. This is why when female creators come on camera, they make sure that you see their whole body. They have to make sure that they stand up so you can see their curves. They got to make sure that you can see their breasts. They got to make sure. Listen, you would never see a female content creator just show her head or her torso area. You would never see that. You would never see them show off just their face and be on camera. Matter of fact, you would never see female creators make videos and not be on camera. They won't have no success that way. The only one that have success that way is that so-called woman from the UK that guys literally thirst over her avatar. Isn't that amazing? She's the only one that I know in these YouTube streets that had any sort of success, where men thirst over a woman based on her avatar. Isn't that crazy? You never seen this woman before in person, but you're showering her with money. That just goes to show the nature of men. They're very, very weak and sick. And all you got to do is show them a photo and they'll believe it. And for all intents and purposes, it could be a man and you don't even know. You don't even know. But that's just the way men are. So when it comes to the passport bros, they're going to shame the attack dogs for the passport bros will shame any man that speak against them. They are in bed with the passport bros because it's helping them financially. Again, if you want to build a following on YouTube right now, your best bet, if you want to build a following on YouTube and make some sort of money or gain some sort of support, the way you do that is you speak positive of passport bros. You would have to pander towards the men by telling them what they want to hear. That is how you can gain some success. I, Ringo, don't do that. I go against the grain because I realize the damage that is being done, and I realize the satanic influences that comes with passport bros. These guys look at a passport as if though they're millionaires or some sort. I don't get it. It's like they think having a passport is like having ownership of billions of dollars. And the real reason is they're excited about getting vagina. That's what this thing is all about, if you really think about it. Getting a passport, the excitement about getting a passport is not about finding a wife. I don't know why nobody can't see that. It's not about having children. It's not about building legacy. It's about men that have caught on to the game of understanding that they can get quick access to vagina overseas from 304s. But yet they complain about women in America being 304s. They complain about women in America having high body counts. They complain about everything in America. And then when they go overseas, they're paying for 304s. None of these passport bros could tell me that they're going overseas meeting decent quality women. They're not. They're meeting women of the night. That's what it's all about. That's what it always been about. And we got proof of that. We're going to bring out that proof later on. Not in this show, but in another show. We're going to bring it out and show the general public exactly what's going on. But we're going to be talking about more issues in different videos regarding men that have been robbed, scammed, beaten in these regions. I'm talking about content creators that have shared their horror stories. We're going to do reviews of their videos so that you can all learn the danger that is awaiting you overseas. Imagine going to a land where you don't even know the language. You don't even know the culture. You don't have a clue about the laws. You don't even know if you're breaking the law. You come over there with your American mindset, thinking that you could just do what you want to do, and next minute you find yourself in a prison cell overseas where nobody knows you, your family don't know where you are, and you're in a cell with a bunch of other people, and nobody cares because you're American. Imagine being in a position like that. And that's where a lot of you guys are going to end up. Matter of fact, there are even stories on YouTube of men that went overseas to Colombia and they're dead now. Yeah, that's right. See, nobody's talking about those stories. Nobody's talking about the many men that have traveled abroad and now they're in a body bag. They're in a morgue somewhere. See, nobody talks about that. The only thing they paint to you is this illusion of you're going to have this beautiful woman, this beautiful Colombian woman, this beautiful Brazilian woman. She's going to be waiting for you. She's going to be waiting for you as soon as you get off the plane. No, the only thing that's going to be waiting for you, bro, is death. That's what's going to be waiting for you. Do you understand? And it is what it is. And that's what's going on here. Don't promote no shows on my platform. You understand? Don't come into my chat promoting anything on here. Do you understand? Because you don't even know what I'm talking about. You're talking about a show. Do you even know what I'm talking about? Don't come in my chat and promote anything in my chat. Stop trying to be smart. Stop trying to be ahead of me. Don't do that. You understand? Because you don't even know what I'm talking about. You don't even have a clue what I'm talking about, but you're trying to get ahead of me. If you do that again, you would be blocked forever. Don't come on my platform promoting anything. Don't do that. This is a very serious issue, and I can't stand when people do that. When someone is teaching, just sit back and listen to what they're saying, and don't be so quick to try to direct people here and direct people there. If you want to do that, get your own platform. Do you understand me? I can't stand when people do stuff like that. They always want to be the teacher. They always want to be the one like they know exactly what I'm talking about. Everything you just finished saying have nothing to do with what I'm talking about. You understand? Stuff pisses me off, and these are members doing this type of buffoonery. These are members. People that's supposed to know better, and they're doing this buffoonery. See, you can't win. There's always somebody that gotta be the one. Well, I think I know what he's talking about. No, you don't know nothing. because you don't know what I'm talking about. Nobody knows what I'm talking about. You don't have a clue how many videos I got from various content creators. Various creators. But here comes somebody ready to promote. Did I tell you to do that, bro? Do you know how that pisses me the fuck off when people do that type of stuff, fam? I hate when people do that. You know what I'm saying? It really annoys me when people do that, man. Because it disrupts the flow of what I'm doing. I'm trying to lead and teach. You trying to direct people elsewhere. Well, why the fuck would I need to talk? Might as well everybody just go over there. Might as well you just start something and tell everybody go somewhere else. What's the point of listening to me? Just go somewhere else and listen to somebody else. Are you really helping what I'm doing? Are you helping me? You're not helping me by doing that bullshit. You're not helping me. You're directing people elsewhere. Why don't you go there? Why are you here? This is not a game, fam. This is serious business here. You got these people on YouTube leading these brothers to their death. I'm not here to play games with none of y'all. Y'all think this is fucking entertainment, man? This is not a game. I do this for real. These dudes are doing this because they want to be a part of a movement that is leading brothers to their grave. Men are getting robbed, drugged. Every guy that goes overseas have to pay for vagina. Every man that gets a plane ticket pays for vagina. Do you understand me? There is none of these guys are going overseas and a woman is just wanting to be with them because they're American. You have to pay to play. Do you understand me? When you go to Brazil, women are not there waiting to bow down and serve you. No, you're gonna pay for their attention and time. That's how it works. Do you understand me? You're gonna pay. Is that what you guys want to do? Is that what this is about now? So you guys are paying women now for their time and their attention. Who's the biggest sucker? The man that pay? Or the woman that's the 304? Who's the real problem? I thought grown men were able to pull women by just talking and getting to know them. How many brothers that follow my platform are secret whoremonger males? Secret passport bros on the low key. Flying overseas to get some vagina. That's sad, bro. That is so sad. And if there's any moderator that is listening right now, if you see any member that come in on the platform from this day forward that promote anything outside of this platform, block them permanently. Do you understand me? If you see any member that come into my fucking chat and they try to promote somebody's platform or somebody else's brand or somebody else's movement, you block that person permanently. I don't give a fuck about your membership at this point. You don't disrespect my platform by promoting somebody else. These people on YouTube will never promote me. These content creators will never mention my name to promote me. They will never say, yo, shout out to Ringo, go subscribe to his channel. They would never do that. So don't ever come into my chat mentioning anybody's name, promoting anybody's brand, posting any damn link. If you do that, you're gone. Period. You could keep your membership. Because at this point, you disrespecting me and what I do. You understand? That's like you walk into Gucci store, you looking for a purse, and one of Gucci employees are like, oh, you need a purse like that? Oh, you could go down to the Louis Vuitton store down the street. They got a purse like that. They can help you out. Why would an employee of Gucci suggest that you go to the Louis Vuitton store to buy a bag rather than trying to sell you a bag from their store? So that's called being stupid. And see, if a manager's caught you doing that, you'll be fired. Do you know that? Do you know that when you work for those type of places, you cannot do that? You'll get fired. If you do something as stupid as that, imagine how stupid you got to be to do something like that. You telling somebody to go to another store to get something when you got the product in your store, rather than you use your sales talent to sell them a purse or a bag or a suit or whatever the case is, you're directing them to somebody else. How are you helping the business? And that's the same way I see it when people come in here trying to promote other people. Why the fuck you doing that for? You ain't helping me. You taking food off my plate by doing that. It's like you basically saying, hey, you don't have to listen to him. Go listen to this guy. That's stupid. That don't even make no sense. So if a moderator watched the replay, if you see any member come into the chat from this day forward, promoting anybody name, right? Promoting anybody name. If they say a content creator name, block them, ban them from the platform. Do you understand me? No name, no promotion, no nothing. Because these people are so selfish in this space, it's unbelievable. They would steal your talking points, steal everything you talk about, never acknowledge you. Well, you're not going to get no acknowledgement from me. I don't rock with none of these people on these spaces. I ain't down with none of these cliques. I roll completely solo because I understand how the game works. There's too much jealousy in this space and too much hate where people want to stifle any growth that you gain. That's why I roll solo. I've been shouting people out for years and years and bigging everybody up. Never got no love from nobody. Do you understand me? From nobody. So don't tell me why I'm the way I am. I've never gotten no love from these content creators on YouTube. And I shouted out everybody. I showed everybody love, gave everybody their flowers, did all of that type of stuff. Received nothing in return. Nothing in return. You know, like how when you're just doing your videos and you having conversations and you think about somebody and it just comes across your mind about a certain content creator and you big them up. Yeah, yo, shout out to so-and-so and so. He had a video the other day, such and such. These dudes don't do that. They don't do that because they're all for self. All for self. So again, anybody that is a member of the platform, and I see you in my comment section, naming names of different content creators and, oh, so-and-so posted a video about this, I'm gonna block and I'm gonna ban you. So it is what it is. So when you get blocked and you get banned, don't send me a DM on Instagram saying, yo, bro, I was blocked. I don't know what happened. No, you know what happened. You violating. Don't come here promoting nothing. You hear me talking about a subject? Don't promote nothing on my platform, man. Don't go trying to direct customers and clients elsewhere. That's disrespectful to the max. That's maximum disrespect. You should be blocked already. Seriously. Like, that's the ultimate disrespect. And people don't think about what they're doing. You got these guys leading you brothers to your death. But because of vagina, you're willing to go and do the sacrifice. If you take sex off the table, would you passport bros be willing to travel? You See that? If you take sex off the table, if you take women off the table, just take women off the table. Let's just take women completely off the table. Let's erase women from the equation. How many men would be willing and motivated to get their passport so they could travel to Brazil, to Colombia, or the DR? How many? How many of you will be ready? How many of you will be ready to travel? How many of you will be ready to travel if there's no women involved in this? How many? How many men would be ready to get their plane ticket because they can't wait to pack their luggage to go overseas because they're going there for the culture, they're going there for business opportunities? How many of you would be willing to go? How many? See, all you're going to get is crickets. That's all you're going to get. Because men are not going over there for any business opportunities. They're not going over there for any sightseeing. They're not going over there for the culture. They're not going anywhere. If I was traveling anywhere today, like if I was going overseas to travel, I would go to Korea. I would go to Korea because of the technology. Not only the technology, but also to learn the language. You understand? I just like the way the language sound. I like the tone, it's different from Mandarin and Cantonese and all of that. I like, the Korean language. I like their language and also the culture, music, and the technology. They're very advanced in technology and a lot of different tech stuff. I want to see their factories. I want to see exactly how they design and make stuff. There's a lot of places over there that I would go to. Not for some woman. You understand? Because she wouldn't understand me, I wouldn't understand her. Now, if you ran into a Korean woman over there, then hey, it is what it is. If you ran into one and you just over there and she seems to be friendly and nice and whatever and things lead to one another and this and that and that. But I would not be going there because of some woman. See what I mean? I would be going over there to experience the technology and, the music scene. There's a lot of stuff over there that I want to get involved in and see what's going on. I want to meet the producers, the music producers. They have Korean trap music. They got Korean club music, Korean trance, techno, EDM music. I want to see what they got popping. You see what I mean? That's how you travel. You know what I mean? You go there and you learn their language. You stay there for about a month. Because if you really want to learn a language, you cannot do that in 1 week. It's not going to happen. In order for you to learn the language of a native country, you're going to have to be down there for about a good month or two. If you go to any country and you stay there for about a month or two, you're guaranteed to learn the language. You will learn the language because you're immersed in the language. You're immersed in the culture. You have to go to the stores. You're going to hear people talking all day. Everything will begin to come to you automatically. Listen, I'm talking about you will begin to learn the language without even knowing what anybody's saying. You're just going to know. Why? Because you're immersed. When you go out in the public and you go to the shops and the stores and you hear them talking, and you see how they hand them certain things. When someone goes to the register and they pay for something and you hear them speak in their native tongue and then they exchange currency and all this other stuff, you're going to start to pick up on their lingo. And before you know it, their tone, their accent, all of that stuff is going to start to rub on you. And before you know it, you're going to start to repeat certain things. And before you know it, you're going to form sentences. That is how you learn languages. You have to be immersed into the culture. You understand? These so-called passport bros are not doing that. They're going over there for a 2-day weekend. They're not learning no language. And just because somebody's able to speak a few words and formulate a sentence does not mean they are a native speaker. Do you understand? Because you got some of these guys, they think they slick. They come on YouTube and they'll do little things like they'll learn the basics. They'll practice and learn the basics. And they're able to say certain words and it'll sound like, wow, this brother could speak the language. And he can't. He's just regurgitating things that he practiced. He's not a native speaker. In order for you to truly learn a language, you have to be immersed in the culture. And that's going to take you about a good 1 to 2 months. I would say about 2 months of being somewhere, you're going to eventually begin to understand and learn. But the problem is if you come back to the States and you're not around the country anymore, it's going to leave. It's going to leave and you're going to start to forget because you're not practicing the language. It has to be something that you practice every single day. That's how you maintain it. Anybody that knows what I'm talking about, you would know. If you go, let's say, for example, you took a trip and you went to Panama, right? And you go over there for about a month or two. If you go over there for a month or two, I guarantee you're going to start speaking Spanish automatically. If you go to Panama and you stay there for a year, you're going to come back speaking Spanish. Everybody in your neighborhood going to be shocked. They're going to be like, wow, how in the world you were there for a whole year, bro? You were there for a year. So eventually you're going to learn. So these passport guys, number one that they have against them is they don't know the language of any of the countries they're visiting. They don't know the languages. Number two, they're not relocating. Why the passport bros that are on YouTube that talk all day long? All they do is talk all day long about how these women are. All they talk about is the women. Have you ever noticed that the passport bros never talk about nothing else but women? Women, women, women. That's all they talk about. They don't talk about anything else. So number one, they don't know the language. They have not relocated. Why all of the passport bros in America, why haven't they all moved overseas yet? Why? Because they need the American dollar. They need the American dollar. Without that American dollar, these guys cannot survive. They need the American dollar. You see? Because, see, it's not like they're going down there to stay. Because in order for them to do that, that's going to be a whole process. That's a whole nother process. So when you hear these guys talking about, I'm going to Brazil and I'm trying to relocate to stay over there, in my humble opinion, those guys already done been there. They're just trying to recoup their money. Because a lot of these guys are embedded with a cartel. I already done told you, this young guy that they put into space, he's probably most likely a plant that was put in place to be sort of like the face of the movement while other people are paying him. Trust and believe that, fam. A lot of these guys in these YouTube streets are mentioning his name and the puzzle is coming all together. A lot of these guys are getting paid under the table. Don't trust any content creator that you see supporting passport bros. I'm here to let you know. Do not support any man that is supporting a passport bro. Those guys cannot be trusted. They're dangerous men. They cannot be trusted because those type of guys, under the table, they're getting paid. Under the table, they're getting paid by somebody. You understand? And don't trust no woman that's pretty much supporting passport bros. Again, passport bros is the new MGTOW 2.0, which consists of MGTOW and SYSBM in one. Men, pretty much save yourself black men, those guys are pretty much teaming up with MGTOW and they formulated passport bros. A group where they can all be in one. It's sort of like uniting the two groups into one. So now passport bros is going to be the new wave going through these YouTube streets as a movement of men traveling abroad to get vagina because they can't get that vagina in America. Imagine an entire group telling everyone that women in America are no good. So you mean to tell me you dated every woman in America? That's impossible. Listen, fam, let me explain something to you guys. This may be a little shocking to you. As much as we have problems in America when it comes to our women, right? You brothers also have problems. Do you understand that? You got problems too. Let me also add this. There are many good women in America. And I'm not just saying that just to say that. We don't live around each other. We don't know each other. This is social media. But behind social media, there is something called the real world. There are women in the real world that literally are by themselves. They go to work and they go home. And for the most part, they don't even talk to no guys. They would love to have a good man in their life, but based on how society is, they're in the same boat like most of you guys. Complaining about there are no good women, and she's doing the same thing. She's complaining that there are no good men. Why? Because you just haven't met her. You haven't met face to face. The circumstances have not come up where you can literally see eye to eye. But see, if you get out more, if you travel around your country, if you travel around where you are, if you travel around the United States, I mean, imagine that you want to travel outside the United States when you haven't even traveled to the states in America. That's crazy. So let me get this straight. You in California crying that all women in the world are bad. All women in the United States is bad, but you never left California yet. That's how crazy this sounds. Because there are many women all over the globe that are fit, friendly, and cooperative. Kevin Samuels talking points. I'm not trying to steal. At the same time, you guys just haven't met them. You haven't met those women because you don't know who they are. And on social media, it's very difficult to meet women because there are so many men in their DMs. A lot of you guys, you might see a sister on social media and you want to holler at her because you're serious, meaning that you want to get to know her, you want to build with her, you even want to have kids with her. And it don't take a brother that long. A brother should be able to look at a woman and automatically know, I want to get with this woman, I want to have kids with this woman. There's nothing wrong with that. You're supposed to know what you want as a man. The problem is women have too many men in their DMs and they can't differentiate between a good man and a bad man or your intentions based upon a text message. That's why it's good to actually talk via audio recording to let a woman know exactly where you're coming from. That way she can hear the tonality of your voice. And perhaps it comes across different than other men that just sends a little text message. She don't know your tone. She don't know who you are. She don't know anything about you. And also, some of you guys, you don't got no profile pictures. You don't got nothing, no activity, no social media presence. She's not going to even waste her time with you. But my point in saying this is there are many good women all over the United States. Many. Hundreds of thousands, millions. But, again, it's very difficult to attract if you're not actively out there in terms of moving around in your city, moving around from state to state, going out to the parks, the malls, different events. If you're not doing any of these things as men, you're not gonna meet these women because they're out here. Listen, brothers, there are women out here that fit the profile of the kind of woman you've been desiring your whole life. I'm talking about there are many women, bro, right out here, right now, that are the kind of woman you desired your whole life. I'm talking about there is a black woman somewhere. And I'm not just talking about one. I'm talking about thousands upon thousands of black women right here in the States that are just the kind of woman you always dreamed of. But because you are not putting yourself out there and you're not talking and you're not interacting, you're not meeting them because you haven't gone back to the basics, bro. There was a time when women didn't have social media. There was a time when a woman was just walking down the street or she's just at the supermarket. Why you guys are not going back to the basics? You're not going back to the basics. You're so into the dating thing in terms of dating apps and all that other stuff. You're wasting your time with that, bro. You got to get active in terms of being interactive in the streets where you are. Go out somewhere. See women, talk to women. Do things spontaneously. You see a woman, you're walking down the street, you see a woman coming up, you trying to holler, start your conversation off with, you're a little lost. You're trying to figure out where such and such is. Start the conversation up somehow, bro. My goodness, this is so easy to do. It ain't all about, hey, baby, how you doing? You don't got to start like that. You don't got to start like that. You could just start off where, you're trying to find such and such street. And you just kind of, just play it off a little bit. I mean, you know where you are. You get what I mean? But it's sort of to break the ice so that you can understand how she talk, how she move, and what's going on, especially her body language when you talk to her. And then you blend in doing this and doing that. Some of you guys don't even know how to have the introduction, fam. Damn. My goodness, man. You in a supermarket, you see a woman right there walking around and she's standing next to the sugar aisle where the sugar's at. I mean, all you got to do is just pull up, look at where you're looking, look at what she's looking at. You see her looking at sugars and all of that stuff. Then you just ask the question, excuse me, what's the difference between this sugar and this sugar in terms of health? Because I'm a little on the health conscious side. I'm trying to find, my goodness, you can't do that. And just start the conversation. What are you scared for? What do you got to lose? Once you start talking, she starts telling you about, well, I would choose this one right here. Or she might tell you, hey, if you're really into this, you shouldn't even be using none of these things. She might put you on to something else. And then you start to talk more. And before you know it, you introduce yourself. My name is such and such. How you doing? Boom, 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 boom. My goodness, like, come on, man. Y'all missing out because you don't want to go nowhere and you don't want to talk to nobody. You got to talk. You got to initiate it. You got to initiate contact. You got to be a good salesman. You got to have a mouthpiece. It's not that difficult. You like her. She's attractive. That's all you need. That's your motivation. The next is just talk. Just be assertive. Stop being shy. Stop. She's a woman. You like her. Don't be like these other guys trying to get a passport because they can't get a woman. Those guys are just scared. They're scared. They don't know how to talk to women. Do you know, like right now on these YouTube streets, there's a battle right now between dating coaches also against passport bros? It's really getting crazy now. Where the passport bros and the dating coach guys, they're going at it now. Because the dating coach guys are like, you guys just pretty much don't got no mouthpiece. Like, y'all tripping. Do you know how many women are in America, fam? Do you know how many millions of women? Listen, brothers, in America right now, there's approximately 30 to 40 women per one man in America right now. Do you know that? Do you know that women outnumber men in America? 30 to 1. You know how many millions of women that is? There are so many women in America, man, that it's virtually impossible for a man to say, I can't find a woman. That's crazy. How? Fam, during the summer that pretty much passed, I was busy working. I wasn't focusing on no broads at all. I'm busy working, focusing on what I got to do. I'm very, very active, focusing on me. But when I'm outside, do you know how many women was outside? I'm talking about everywhere. How could a man say, I can't find a woman in America? Y'all saw that last video I did where the dude said he can't find no woman in America. How? There's women everywhere. The problem is you're just not doing any of the work. You're not talking to them and you're not getting yourself together. This is why I keep telling you guys, focus on you. Focus on your creativity. Focus on your health, fitness, workout. If you focus on all of those things, you're going to run into women. That's what I'm trying to show you. If you go to the park to work out, right? Do some calisthenics and all that other type of stuff, and you're just doing your thing. You do that every day. I guarantee you're going to run into women while doing that. They're going to notice you, right? If you're jogging around a park, you're going to notice things. Women are going to notice you. You're going to see women and you're going to be like, wow, you here today? She's there today. Before you know it, y'all jogging together now. Now, after you finish jog, y'all sitting down having conversations. Brothers, you have to get active and get back to the basics and stop this. I'm getting a passport to go overseas to get robbed and drugged, because that's what's happening. They're not telling you all of this. Why do you think when these guys travel, when you look at them with their videos, they're always together? Why do you think the guys are always together when they travel? Why do you notice? Have you not noticed that the guys, when they travel, they stay in groups? You know why? To prevent getting robbed. To prevent getting robbed, fam. A lot of these guys stay in groups because they know that it's crazy. Just like when you out in the States and you in the hoods and different places and people try to plot, same way it is out there, fam. Same thing. The passport bros is leading you guys astray. Pretty much. They have no family. They have no children. And all of these guys are washed up. A lot of these guys are out of shape. If you look at the majority of passport bros, if you look at them and really just examine what their appearance look like, these guys are not appealing to the average woman. I'm just speaking facts. These guys are not presentable to women. Women are not going to be attracted to them in America. It's just not going to happen. And this is something that they're frustrated about. A lot of you guys, you don't know how to groom yourself. You don't know how to get a haircut. You don't know how to put on clean clothes. You don't know how to do none of this type of stuff. You just kind of sit back and just do whatever you want and expect things to flow a certain way. It's not going to work that way. You're going to have to make up your mind what you want to do. But this is a serious issue here, man. Very, very serious issue. And I don't know why people get mad. I don't know why they get mad when brothers try to speak on these particular issues when it comes to the whole passport movement. What I'm trying to do is direct brothers in the right way, the right path. And I know for a fact that these guys are leading you guys to a burning house. So if you want to travel, we're not against men traveling because they want to go abroad to have culture, experience different food, music, visit a certain monument or a certain place and, have some video footage, some content. We're not against that. So don't get it misconstrued that I'm against men traveling. That would be stupid. Learn how to have some common sense. This is not about me being against men getting a passport to travel because they are looking for culture and other different things. That's not what this is about. What this is about is men going overseas because they're looking for a vagina. That's what they're looking for. They're looking for an intimate time with women. And that's their motivation. They're not going there for anything else. That's why none of these guys have set up residence there. They need the American dollar. Without the American dollar, they cannot do what they're doing. If these guys are very serious about what they believe in, they would have moved to Brazil, Colombia, and made residence and become a citizen over there. And give up all ties to America and stay over there with their so-called women and have a good time. That way they can earn the same money and the same wages over there. But they're not doing that. They're using the American dollar because the American dollar goes further. We hear these conversations with the passport bros all the time. They're always talking about how the cost of living in America is crazy. They use these as the excuses of why they're going. But if you think about it, none of these passport bros have ever moved yet. And their leader is waiting for you to foot his bill. Imagine that you're a passport bro, you're their leader, and you need $70,000 to relocate. Why can't you just relocate? If you already been there and know what it's about and know how wonderful it is, why haven't you moved first and then make content to show the people? See, all of these guys that you see doing this stuff are just faking it till they make it, just like Kevin Samuels did. He talked about high value man making $100K a year and all this other stuff, but he wasn't doing that. Kevin Samuels was not making $100K a year by being some image consultant. That's a lie. The research was already done. The documents already was out there. The man couldn't even afford to pay his child support. He was not making no money. When he blew up, that's when all of the talking points started to look real and people believed in it. But till this day, not one celebrity, not one actor, not one person of prominence has come forward and said that, hey, Kevin Samuels was my image consultant. There's no testimonies, nobody. So people always have been using different methods to fake it till they make it. And this is what's going on with the passport bros. None of them have moved. Why can't you see that? Why can't grown adult males see this? Why can't you see? Where's the marriages? Where's the wives? Again, their argument is that American women are no good. Okay, where is the woman that is good that you guys got that you wifed up? Could somebody show that? And don't show one guy. Don't show one guy that was in the military and he married some woman in Taiwan and all this other stuff. We don't want to hear those stories. That don't count. Where is a passport bro from MGTOW 2.0, which is known as the passport bros? Where are they with their wives? Not only wives, where are their children? Because there's this new thing where women want to be wives, but they're not having no kids. We see that a lot on social media. Women that claim they're married, but they don't got no kids, but they want to claim to be a wife. You're not a wife. You're not a wife if you're married, you have a husband, but you don't got no kids. You're not a wife. To be a wife means you're fruitful and you're multiplying. You're bringing forth seed. You understand? Don't tell me you're a wife and you've been with this man for thus and so amount of years and you have no children. You ain't a wife. You're a girlfriend. A wife has children. She brings forth seed for her husband. That's what a helpmate does. She brings forth children. It don't make no sense that a woman is a wife and she's not occupied by taking care of some kids. Her kids. If she haven't used her womb to bring forth children for you, then she's not a wife. That's why she's called a womb man. She's supposed to use her womb for her man, but she's not using it, so she's not a wife. We're going to talk about that in other videos. Because a lot of women just love to wear the title wife to appear important, but they're not bringing forth no babies. And I keep telling you, a lot of these women, especially content creator females that claim they're married and have no kids, you know why they have no kids? Because they wouldn't be able to be doing no content. You see, a lot of them depend on their body. A lot of them depend on the way they look. They go get pregnant, they start to gain weight. They're not going to look as attractive as they once was. And typically men don't want to listen to that. They want something to lust after. You got women claiming to be married, and then you have men that be in the chat room and in the comments literally thirsting after them, posting comments. Even though they know the woman is married, they'll say stuff like, wow, you so sexy. And I'm looking at this and I'm like, wow. And the women never check it. You know, like how you would think that a woman that's married would check guys that do that and say, hey, I'm married. Don't be disrespectful by saying that I'm sexy and I'm this. Don't you realize that I'm a married woman? They never even check these guys. You know why? That's how they pay the bills. They pay the bills off of the guys that want to have sex with them. So if a woman don't have no children and she's a wife, that's questionable. I doubt that the woman is even a wife because she's not bringing forth babies. I don't know why people can't see that. I made a community post about that and people are in there going crazy. A lot of people have reading comprehension skills. It's like they don't understand. You know? What's the point of me making a woman a wife if she's not bringing forth no seed? What's the point? She's useless at this point. What's the purpose of getting with her? Just to have sex? That's the point? So let me get this straight. What do a woman that's a wife do all day if she got no kids? What is she doing? She ain't cleaning nothing. Because when you don't have children, your house should be clean at all times. See, this is why they don't like me, fam. This is why they don't like me. This is why they don't like me. Listen. Let me break this thing down. Let me talk about this thing right now. When you're a woman and you are married and you got no kids, your house would be clean at all times. Why? Because there are no kids there to dirty it. When you have two adults living in a house, apartment, house, doesn't matter where you at, your home is going to be clean at all times. You won't be having no time to clean nothing because everything will always remain clean. The only thing you would have to probably do is wash a plate or two, because if it's just two of you, there won't be a bunch of dishes in the sink. See, they don't want to talk to me about this because I know. When you have a man and a woman living in a house, ain't no bunch of dishes to wash. So save me the damn tears about you washing dishes. Ain't no dishes. There ain't no dishes. It's just two of you. There are no dishes there. Only a plate or two. A spoon. That's it. And normally under those circumstances, you'll wash it yourself. Because typically when a man and a woman is together by themselves, they'll wash after themselves. But when you have children, on the other hand, that is when the dishes will begin to pile up, because kids are always needing to use a cup, a spoon, a bowl, cereal, you name it. Not only that, they dirty their rooms. Their rooms are always getting dirty, and mom is always cleaning up after them. Listen, fam, this is why these female creators on these YouTube streets don't like me, because I speak the real. I speak the real. When women have children, they got work to do. They're really taking care of the home. When there are no children in the home, there is nothing to clean. There is nothing to tidy up. Why? Because everything normally is clean already. For example, if you're a brother and you got your own spot, your house is already clean. You fix it up, there's really nothing dirty because you're not dirtying anything. You understand? So it's like, what really is there to clean? Some of these women be acting like they dusting and cleaning and doing all this extra work. You ain't doing a damn thing. What are you doing? You ain't busy. When you got kids and you got to take them to school and you got to help them with their homework and you got to take them to the doctor and you got to do this and you got to go there and you got to shop for food. Oh, now you working. Now you really operating as a wife. Now you really operating because now you're multitasking. See, a lot of these women, they just be on social media all day. They ain't working. They ain't doing nothing. They ain't even occupied when it comes to being a wife. They don't have a clue what it means to be a wife, fam. And I know it bothers them. But see, I have the experience of seeing how a wife operates and the amount of work that they actually really do. Trust and believe, these women that have no kids haven't even started to be a wife yet. They don't know the first half of what the workload is like. And when they finally get there, they're going to be tired. They're going to be very tired and exhausted. They won't have no time to do no YouTube video. Trust and believe. I ain't saying that you can't do content. I ain't saying that you can't if you're a wife and you have children. What I'm saying is you'll be preoccupied. You'll be preoccupied with your children. You'll be preoccupied with, what you got to do in terms of taking care of your kids, your house, your husband, and everything else. It's a lot of work. And there's no days off. You don't get no days off when you're a real wife. A lot of women wear the title wife, but they're not a real wife. Not yet. They have the title, but they haven't done the job. See, a plumber can go to school, get the training, but if he haven't done the work, he's just wearing a title. A woman is supposed to produce from her womb. And if you have a woman that is a wife and her womb has not been active of producing seed, that woman is not a wife to you. Bars. Do you understand me? Because she haven't produced anything for you. You're literally, if something was to happen to you today, bruh, and you passed away, you ain't got no seed. Ain't that a shame? There ain't nobody there with your name. Because your woman didn't produce anything for you. Somebody said, well, what if the woman can't produce? What if she can't produce babies? What if the man can't produce babies? What about that? Well, then what's the point of getting married for? What's the point? Why would I trap myself in a marriage, especially with these crazy women that want monogamy? Why would I stay in a situation like that if a woman cannot even produce babies for me? And then on top of that, she's expecting me to be faithful to her and I can't go with no other woman. Why would I do that? That would be a bad deal. And here's another thing. Let's say, for example, that's the case. Let's follow your position of what if the woman can't have children, right? If the woman can't have children, then she should be in support of the man having another wife. You see that? If a woman knows she can't produce children for her husband, and that's the argument you want to use, then why those women aren't in support of their man having more than one wife so another wife can produce for him? Right? But they're not doing that. See, the truth is, brothers, the majority of these women that are in that position are not having kids because it messes up business. The last thing they want to do is mess up their business. You see? The last thing they did is, last thing they want to do is mess up their business. They do not want to do that. I don't want to hear anything about Sarah. Please. People were doing that in my posts. I don't want to hear anything about Sarah. I'm tired of hearing about Sarah. Y'all acting like Sarah, like y'all know Sarah personally or something. Like, is Sarah the only woman in the whole world? Like, come on, let's just stop playing this game. You know what I mean? We're dealing with 2022. This is the year 2022. This year we're living in right now is 2022, right? Women are on social media claiming to be married, but they're not producing no babies. That's a problem. What's the point of getting married? What's the point? I mean, could anybody answer that question? What's the point of being married if you're not building a family? What's the point? What's the point of buying a minivan with a lot of passenger seating if I'm the only one driving the vehicle? What's the point? What's the point of buying a family vehicle if I don't have a family? What's the point? What's the point if you're a single man and you're trying to rent out a 4-bedroom apartment? What's the point? Why am I paying extra for something that I'm not using? That's the same thing when you get with a woman and you make her a wife and you're paying extra, but you're not getting no children. That don't make no sense. So this woman is with me all this time. I'm having sex with her, but for some odd reason, we not producing no offspring. Why? What's the problem? So let me get this straight. All these other women are baby mamas that they talk about, but they're married but not producing no children. Y'all don't see the comedy in this? You got women on social media that claim that they're married. They'll talk about women are single baby mamas and they're having babies out of wedlock, but these women are married and they got no children. This is crazy. This is crazy. Anyway, y'all, we're going to get up on out of here. We rambled on long enough. We're going to be back on later on with more streams, more content. We're going to touch on this topic more. And I'm going to also talk more about women that are married and have no children. We're going to talk about those topics as well. I got some videos I got to update before I go live. We're going to be getting back to the full studio camera setup, so look out for that. Getting some things adjusted. So, just because you see me do videos where I'm off camera and I'm in this format, that does not mean that's how it's going to always be. We're going to be getting back to the full studio format. We're going to be doing that pretty much every day, so look out for that. I got some things that I have to update, some wiring I have to solder, some cabling and some stuff like that. And I have to install another monitor. So so we're going to be doing that. We're going to continue on with these Passport Bros topics and other reactionary videos. But I just wanted to talk about these things because in this space, you're going to have a lot of people that are going to try to shame guys like me and others. They're not going to mention our names. But if they do, that would be great so that we could get some free promotion. That's always good. But we know they're not going to go that far. But they're going to try to shame guys like me and others that speak against the Passport Bros because it messes up their bottom line, which is money. These people are being paid under the table. A lot of content creators have been compromised already. A lot of content creators that you all know and probably support. They've all been compromised already with the Passport Bro movement. So look out for the shaming language. Again, one of their number one talking points when they try to shame you is, why are you worried about where another man put his rod? That's one of the main shaming language. Another thing they're going to say is, what's the big deal with them going overseas to get women? That's another thing they're going to say because they're going to try to water it down. My thing is, why are they going overseas to get vagina? Why are they doing that when they could get that right over here? Like, what's the big deal? And I'm not talking about paying for no 304. My point is, if all these guys want is sex, why they're not trying to do it here? The problem is they can't fulfill their dark fantasies in America. They're going to go to prison. Overseas is when these sexual deviants are able to explore their erotic fantasies with young girls. These are the things they don't tell you. I know it bothers a lot of you, but a lot of these Passport Bros, a lot of these guys are very suspect when it comes to the things that they do and the mindset that they have. These guys are very, very demonic, and ain't no telling how many young girls in the Dominican Republic been in dirty hotel rooms with these men doing unthinkable things. Do you understand me? Now, they're not going to talk about these things because, again, in that country, those countries, they're able to get away with things that they can't get away with in America. See, if you go to a hotel in America and you hire some sort of prostitute or whatever to come in and she's a part of the police force and they have a sting operation, you're going to go to jail. You know that, right? So it's very difficult to do that. So these guys, they go overseas to practice these things because they know the laws are different. That's what this is all about, is getting a passport so you could go overseas to practice the things you can't do in America. This has nothing to do with American women being bad. They're saying that as the excuse to go overseas. Listen, brothers, there are countless amounts of good women in America, especially black women. Even though we see the black women on social media, TikTok, they might be crazy. We get it. But I'm here to tell you, brothers, there are wonderful black women right here in America that would literally blow your mind. The problem is you just haven't met them. And you're allowing social media to paint this picture that none of them exists. Yes, we got problems with women in America, but we also got problems with men. Men have problems too. So stop thinking that the problem is just women when problems are with men as well. Men have problems and women have problems. We got to stop playing this game of, oh, these women are just no good. Well, what about men? What about men? Why can't men take accountability? We tell women to take accountability, but what about men? See? Well, anyway, I'm gonna get up on out of here. It is what it is. I'm gonna be back on later, like I said. So hopefully everybody have a good day. Do what you got to do. I got a lot of work to do, a lot of content. It's just a lot of stuff I got to do, fam. A lot of stuff. And I'm very thankful. I'm very thankful for the energy that I have, because, man, it takes a lot of energy, man, to really be focused. And again, brothers, focus on you. Focus on what you do best as a man. Focus on you. You know, you may not be a content creator, but you might do something else. Focus on that. Focus on all the things that you do as a man, and be active in who you are, and diligent, and you know, be persistent towards your goals, and don't let up, you know, and stop worrying about women. Like stop worrying about women. Stop worrying about cooch all day. Yeah, we're men, we like women, we're attracted to women, we get it. But be about your business first. Focus on that. You know what I mean? Focus on that. So, that being said, we're gonna get up on out of here, fam. You already done know.
Wine on me, girl. Love on me. Hold on me, girl.
Ringo TV Reactions.
Squeeze on me.
Bringing you the best commentary,
Hold on me, girl.
criticism,
Love on me.
news reporting
Play
in
with
these
me,
YouTube
girl.
streets.
Missing you, baby. You know.
Make sure you subscribe to the channel.
With me, baby.
Click the notification bell for more content.
My baby.
Ringo
You
TV
know.
Reactions.
My baby.
Y'all have a blessed day.
Baby, me think about you.
I'm out, fam.
Honey, me missing
Peace.
you. Baby, me wanting you tonight.
If you like our content, consider supporting via Cash App at $Ringo TV Raw. Become a patron on patreon.com for exclusive video content not shown on YouTube. You could also support through PayPal at paypal.me/Ringo TV Raw. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and click the bell to be notified of new content. Follow me on Instagram at Ringo TV Raw.
This is Ringo TV Reactions, the only channel on YouTube bringing you the truth, 100% raw and uncut. I'm out. Peace.